Hello and welcome, Exiles. And you might be wondering, Lance, why are you widescreen? It's to capture the girth of strength AoE slams. And quite frankly, it doesn't do it justice because we're still not seeing the entirety of that slam. I did a bit of a meme project in the very end of Freesia League, putting together as much strength as we could on a character because I wanted to build around the duration scaling node. Doesn't really matter. Character sucked, but I had all this strength gear, and I said, you know what? Let's see how it feels on a strength AoE slammer. And I got to be honest, it feels pretty dang fun having this amount of AoE where you just cover the entire screen whenever you slam. And I want to give you guys a little bit of a showcase on a few different skills. I'm going to talk about the scaling real quick on what gives you so much AoE, and then we'll showcase some skills. So the AoE, it all comes from one mod on the suffix pool of Elder Maces, 3% area per 50 strength. So to put it simply, if you have 5,000 strength, that one line is giving you 300% increased area. Now, increased area has some pretty significant diminishing returns. So what I'm going to try to showcase here is I have two maces, which I think is complete overkill. I think you only really need one. And I have Fist of War, Pulverize, and Awakened AoE. So this character right now is just like maximum cheese AoE, but I don't think you really need that much. So this is what it looks like with double mace and that extra AoE. On this character's miscellaneous sheet, you'll see 763 AoE. Let's go ahead and chop that down to see how much it changes. So first off, let's take out the Awakened AoE. Let's take out the Pulverize. So we'll cut down about 100 AoE right there. What does it look like? It looks pretty much the same, right? It's definitely a little bit smaller. Maybe, I can't really tell. Let me take off another mace, which loses us another 300 AoE. So now we're at 340 instead of 760. Let's go ahead and see what the AoE looks like. Still very large, but not quite as big, okay? Obviously, we went 300 AoE down on top of the other AoE lost. So there is a part where you lose the AoE when you start dialing this back. But keep in mind, I have this on widescreen right now just to try to capture its AoE. I think just one mace is getting you pretty dang far. You can go for two if you really want the just ridiculousness of AoE scaling. That's kind of up to you, but I want to showcase one gives you a pretty dang big AoE, two is just obscene AoE. Now, aside from the mace AoE, aside from the increased AoE and the Pulverize, there are other reasons why slams have this really insane feels good AoE, and it has to do with two things. Seismic's the main one, and that's because it has 50% more AoE, and it's like this multiplicative AoE. It's not like this diminishing return AoE you have throughout your tree increased AoE sources. It's a multiplier on that AoE, which is huge. And then number two is Blood and Sand actually gives a pretty good amount of AoE. Mine has 21% more because I have a +1 socketed in the weapon, and I have it in power. It's a pretty low reservation space, so adding an extra 25 or 30% cost, so it goes from 10% to 13% reservation, isn't too big of a deal, and it helps you scale the AoE. Obviously, we go from 17 to 21. Each level is like 1% more damage. So between those two things, you get a pretty nice, sizable AoE. Obviously, you could go to Blooded Stance to get the better single target. That's up to you, but that is the two big multipliers you have on AoE. Now, let's go ahead and showcase some of these skills just to see what they look like with big AoE. Obviously, I was showcasing Ice Crash because it's one of the funnier ones here, but let's go ahead and look at some things like Earthquake of Amplification. I have Enhance on here and more duration. This is kind of just completely memeing, but Earthquake of Amplification is a skill where you hit the ground, and the longer the duration is, the more damage it does, and the more AoE it gets, the longer it takes to blow up. So I'm just trying to showcase like the radius there of how far it goes. We tried this skill with our Antiquarian, and I kid you not, I slammed here, and I went all the way down to here, and the AoE reached this far. Because it's a more multiplier in AoE based on the duration it takes to go off, my Antiquarian had like 700% increased duration because it just had that like 7,000 strength and it gets 1% duration per whatever. But that's the point. It was just like a nuclear orbital strike AoE, which is just funny to look at. Another skill we'll go ahead and look at is Crushing Fist here. This one's just kind of, it just looks kind of neat ultimately. I need to get a shield on though to proc this one. Well, okay, actually I don't need a shield on. What am I saying? I just need to block something successfully. So we'll try to block something, proc our retaliation, and then boom. That's with the crushing fist. We'll go through a couple more. Conk path looks pretty hilarious with increased AoE. Just huge. This one is, I think, is kind of fun clearing a map, but also super blinding. I'll include a short clip of this at the end of the video for Conk path in maps. It feels pretty dang cool in maps, but it's like you're gonna blind yourself real fast because it's just bright. Let's go ahead and look at something like Volcanic Fissure of Snaking. Go ahead and showcase what this one looks like. Pretty dang big AoE. Man, this skill got murdered. When we did the test run of like fighting bosses with this thing, it just hits the boss like once and then goes to freaking no man's land. The additional hits this skill used to have are just not there anymore. And the best of both worlds, where it had good single target and good clear, it's just now is just clear, in my opinion. The single target definitely got nuked. We'll go ahead and look at Tech Slam here. This is one of the skills that has a Conk path of endurance and Tech Slam of endurance, where they get more AoE based on endurance charges. So if you wanted to mix in another AoE multiplier, you could do endurance charge memes with it, which would be pretty dang cool. Ground Slam we can showcase here. Ground Slam, there's a Val version, so I'll try to get a couple of Val souls here and tell you what the Val Ground Slam works like. So that's the Val Ground Slam. Pretty big circumference on that circle of the slam. Is there any ones I have forgotten? Ooh, Sunder. Sunder looks pretty dang neat. Here, I'll show you Sunder of Charthus. Sunder of Charthus is kind of cool because it like bounces off objects to go like hunt down enemies. So for example, like right now there's enemies here, enemies here. I'm gonna shoot at the wall and okay, well, I guess they just died before it like bounced back. I'm gonna shoot the wall this direction. Yeah, so see how it like bounced off the wall and then went that direction? It can do that like 3 times. So when I was like going through like a Guardian map, I'd like hit the Sunder of Charthus and it would like bounce around the map, the winding path of like, let's say Minotaur's map, and go and like kill enemies far away. Definitely very good feeling clear to have good AoE with this skill. It was lower on the single target. For my testing, it looks like you can only hit once. Like it doesn't bounce off the wall to hit the boss multiple times or anything, but a cool clear skill nonetheless. And then you have the regular Sunder, where it's just going for maximum girth AoE. And I'll put the Glimmerwood because the Glimmerwood MTX makes it look really spiky. And this one is like, I can't really keep up with it to catch it, but the spikes at the end there they go through your screen basically. So yeah, that covers it. Just showcasing some of the cool slams. Oh wait, no, I forgot one. Let's showcase Earthshatter. Earthshatter to me looks hilarious compared to its normal version. The spikes are like, you'll see what I mean. Just look at this. Look how they like go out like that. They look like a moving staircase or something. I don't really know. And then obviously when I do my war cry, even though the spikes are really far away, look at the AoEs. Well, okay, I let them blow up. Hold on, let me just... I'm gonna actually like not let them time out, but yeah, the AoEs reach all the way back pretty much to where we're standing. So if you're on any like somewhat smaller arena, you're gonna get permanent overlap on all the spikes on a boss. Like for example, Maven's Arena, I'm pretty sure these spikes are going farther than Maven's Arena. And if the spikes are going, or the spikes AoEs are coming back like this close to my character in a smaller arena, you would just always have 100% overlap on every single spike of damage, which would be fantastic because that really helps Earthshatter's single target. So yeah, anyways, that's a look at some of these slam skills with AoE. I did have a setup that was like trying to be somewhat a real build, not like kind of like halvesy, doing some meme choices for extra strength, like for example the +1 ring. Don't necessarily recommend that. I think +1 ring needs to kind of have a less bad downside to be worth it. Losing your utility flask or losing your belt or losing your amulet, those downsides are insane, especially considering you also have the opportunity cost of losing an ascendancy point for it. So this is kind of memeing a little bit, but needless to say, I just wanted to showcase a pretty fun build where if you were going to min-max throughout the entire course of the league, I think Strength Slams would be one of the more satisfying ones to do, just because that feeling of being like you're crushing the earth and everything's just imploding around you. So yeah, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I'm going to be gone for the next couple days up until the live stream, taking a bit of a short trip with my wife. And so I won't be streaming and stuff. So it'll be a bit of a dead period of me not making some content, but we will pick that right back up when I get back. We'll be probably a bit late to watch the live stream reveal live, so I'll probably watch it after the fact. As always, thanks for watching, Exiles. Take care and peace out. Have a good one.